Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Samina. How are you? I want you to tell me about yourself, about your work, and about your education.
My name is Dr. Samina, and I am a PhD. I have done my PhD from Institute of Chemistry, University of Punjab, and organic chemistry. And I served as assistant professor in UNT, now on the campus. Nowadays, I am doing the IELTS for innovation purposes.
All right, great. And now my part one questions are going to be about neighbors. And my first question is, how often do you see your neighbors, and why or why not?
Not frequently, I visit my neighbors. In fact, I don't have enough time to go to see them. And whenever because I'm working lady, whenever I find time, I want to spend this with my family. So I don't have enough time to go to see my neighbors.
All right. So do you ever invite your neighbors to your home?
Yeah. Sometimes when there are some functions or we are going to celebrate birthdays or some family functions, so I would like to invite my neighbors.
Although you've already answered in the first question that you prefer to spend your time with your family members instead of spending your time with the neighbors, my next question is, do you think you are a good neighbor?
Yes, because I'm all time available to them because whenever they find any difficulty or they are in trouble, they like to invite me. Recently, one of my cousin got some health issues, and I rushed. At once, I go to her home and take her to the hospital. So that's why they always appreciate me that I'm a good neighbor.
You are a very supporting hand for them. I really appreciate that. And my next question is, has a neighbor ever helped you?
Not, I don't remember that they helped me because I never, I don't remember. But whenever I think if I need them, they will definitely come to help.
Great. Okay, that's the end of the part one. Now we are moving on toward the part two. And in part two, I'm going to give you the cue card and you will have 1 minute to prepare for that. You can even make notes if you want to. Here comes the cue card. And if you want to make some notes, you can. You have 1 minute to prepare, and after that, you'll be speaking for 2 minutes. Your 1 minute starts now. Okay, your 1 minute is over. Now you have 2 minutes. Let me just set the stopwatch for you. You've got 2 minutes to talk about the topic, but before that, I want you to read out the question.
Talk about one of your friends. You should say how long you have known each other, how you met, how you spend time together, and explain this person is so why this person is so special to you.
All right.
So I would like to talk one from my best friend. Her name is Munazar Jahan, and Steve, she's my friend. We became friends when we were in school. Although she not studying in my school, and in my one of my event was held in her school, and I have to go to attend that event. And we became a best friend at that time. And luckily, in the college, we get admission together. And from that time, we are friends. And then in the university, we also did our masters and MPhil in the university together. That's why we have been friends since 20 years. More than 20 years we have been friends. She's very cooperative and very caring, and that's why I like her. Whenever I find any difficulty or I was in any tough problem or any kind of clashes, she always there to help me. So I find her very, very, let's say, sympathetic in behavior. She got married. When she got married, I went there to attend her marriage party. Since then, she was living in Bahawalpur. Now, recently, she had moved to Lahore, and she has two kids. And whenever we were free, we like to have get together. And we mostly, with our kids, we try to go to any agriculture farm so that our children can enjoy there. So this she's special in the way that whenever I'm in a difficulty or any time of any kind of problem, I found that she is very helpful in every matter. Even financially, she supports me and I supports her. So that's why we are a good friend, and I love to have a friend like her.
All right, great. Your 2 minutes are over. Now let's move on toward the discussion topic, which is in the part three. And my questions are going to be about the difficult jobs. What are the most difficult jobs that people do?
I think job is not difficult. It depends upon your interest. If you are, if the job is according to your mind or not according to your requirement, and you will feel comfortable. You feel happiness in doing this job. So job is not. I don't think so. Jobs are difficult.
So even some sort of the physical work which people believe the terms and conditions of the situations are really difficult. So don't you think that there are some jobs which are practically difficult in nature?
Of course, there are some jobs that in which you have to to do some field work as well as to do some office work. So it's become difficult to tackle these kind of jobs because you have to travel to go to field work and then have to come back and sit in office. So it depends on again on your interest. If you are feasible with your job, you will.
But if you see out there, not everyone is satisfied with the job they are doing. And of course, not everyone can have the interest in the job they are doing. That is not possible. So at some point, everybody finds his job difficult. Is that right or wrong?
I think you're right.
Yeah. So why do people select the difficult jobs for themselves? Even if they have some interest, or why people have interest in doing the difficult jobs for them?
Again, people have the choice because there's some difficult jobs. If they are giving you some some money, and in return you have to choose this difficult.
What if they are giving you good money, but there is a risk of life?
I think as far as it concerned to me, I would prefer to the comfort level instead of adopting this job or instead of joining this job, I will prefer to
Now let's get back to the same question. If you will prefer your life over money over job, so why do people do those difficult jobs where they have the risk of your life?
I think it's very personal person really, but I will not agree with you because I will prefer as far as I will consider myself in this type of situation, then I will prefer my comfort zone, and I will, of course, I will also will consider their money or they are offering me. So.
Okay, so what do you think? How important is it to have a goal in the life, in one's life?
I think goals are very important for everyone because if you have goal, you can excel in that field and to complete these goals. So goals are very important.
So what if a person sets a goal and he doesn't get there what he decided or whatever he targeted earlier? What happens in that case? A person gets demotivated. So what's the solution? Because not every time you can get the goal, you can achieve a goal.
Sometimes you have to work against your mind, against your wishes, because sometimes you set the goals, but you are not you're unable to follow these goals. So it depends upon your strategies, how you handle these situations. So that you can do these jobs as well as your to achieve your goals. You can make a balance between these situations. So try to keep a balance.
All right, Dr. Samina, that is the end of the speaking mock test. I would rate your speaking 6, or it can even go to 6.5. So 6 to 6.5 somewhere. But I would like to discuss a few of the things here. Number one, in the first question of the part 1, when I asked you the question, there was a confused sound and you were not that confident and you were not very much prepared at how to deliver the answer in the beginning. A confident start is required, is mandatory. Then, answer should be more elaborative. In part one, you were just trying to give me one word or one sentence answer, and you were considering I should understand everything. You need to focus more on elaboration, explanation of an answer. You need to sound confident. So when it comes to this speaking test, you don't sound that confident the way you are in your life or during when you're taking the classes. So during the class, you are so confident, and when we sit in the mock test, I always find you a bit nervous, which is not that good. Yeah, of course, the exam pressure would be there. So based on that, you would have to work on your fluency as well, because you're struggling a lot to deliver a good answer. You have to practice, you have to work on the fluency. And when you were talking in the part two, there was the repetition of idea. You said one thing and you were saying so many other things, and then you were saying the same thing that you said earlier. So it was just like repeating a cycle. Whatever you say, then you have to say the previous thing once again. There were few basic grammatical mistakes, but not many. I believe your examiner can ignore that quite easily. And I supports her. She supports me and I supports her. I support her. Yeah, she supports me, but I support her. And you were so confused in the part three. And I feel like content creation was a problem for you. You were not able to create the content of the answer for the question which was being asked to you. And that is why you were trying to get out of that question, out of that situation somehow. But anyways, right now it stands at 6 to 6.5. If you try to become more fluent, practice more of the speaking, you can even go to 7 or 7.5, inshallah. Thank you so very much for your time. Take care, stay blessed.